Won't you please surrender to me? Your lips, your arms, your heart, dear.
We're doing a photo shoot today to represent a 1961 Canadian family and a 2011 Canadian family, and that's because Statistics Canada has released new census data on the family unit in Canada today. We're picking 1961 because that was 50 years ago. We want to look at how much the family unit has changed over that time. So what do we remember about 1961? Well, John Diefenbaker was Prime Minister, and Saskatchewan had just brought in the first public health system in the country. The Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup with Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita, and yet that same year, two future Hockey Hall of Famers, Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier, were born. In 1961, Canada's population was about 18 million. Today it's about 33 million. The country has grown, the country has changed, and the family unit has definitely changed over 50 years. Large families were the norm in 1961, with about a third of private households having 5 or more people living together. But by the 21st century, that number is now below 10%. And more than 90% of families were headed by married couples in 1961. And the concept of common law couples wasn't even counted in the census until 1981. It was the introduction of Canada's Divorce Act in 1968 that completely changed the dynamic of marriage. Within a decade of the law coming into effect, the divorce rate in the country had jumped nearly 6-fold. This is the first time that the census has counted step families. And it's remarkable that it has taken this long to recognize Brady Bunch families. Today's families are blended in so many different ways that Statistics Canada has actually had to come up with terms like simple step families and complex step families. And the official definitions that they use are mind-boggling.
Step family, a couple family in which at least one child is the biological. Simple step family, a step family in which all children are the biological or adopted children of one. Complex step family. There are 3 types of complex step families. A couple family in which there is at least one child of both parents and at least one child of each parent.
So was the so-called nuclear family of 1961 better than what we have today? Well, here's what the stats don't tell us. There were many broken families in 1961, but because divorce was difficult, no one really knows the state of the Canadian families then. All we really know about comparing a 1961 family to a 2011 family is that the makeup of the family unit has evolved as society itself has evolved. No better, no worse, just different.